This is a Porsche 718 Boxster GTS with the 4-liter flat six. And today, I'm going to be telling you why it's worth over $100,000. Maiden, you're watching God Next. Now let's start with the obvious thing here, and that's going to be the powertrain of the Boxster GTS 4.0. Of course, it uses a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat six. It's an amazing sounding engine, and you can't always get it in all of the 718 models. Most of them come with a 2-liter 4-cylinder instead, but this one, of course, has the amazing high revving 4-liter flat six. 394 horsepower and around 310 pound-feet of torque, which makes for a really fun time in a car this small. Of course, it is rear-wheel drive, and I can't show you the engine because it's somewhere around here over the rear axle, which does help with keeping the weight down and making sure the tires don't spin. You can get it with a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed automatic if you want, based on your preference, and you pick your poison and everything like that. But it does 0 to 60 in a Porsche claimed 4.3 seconds, but we all know it's going to be quite a bit quicker than that because Porsche never tells the truth when it comes to that time. So it is truly a great powertrain that they've stuffed in this GTS. On the side of the Boxster GTS, let's talk about the performance, the tires, and the rims on this. It has these 20-inch satin black rims with these awesome red brake calipers that pop out, make it stand out, and they are huge for increased stopping power. They have these Pirelli P0 tires front and back, 20 inches all the way around, and it will do 182 miles an hour with these summer tires if you get the manual transmission. If you opt for the quicker PDK automatic, you will only be able to do 179 miles an hour. I don't know why that is, but that is still a pretty quick top speed for a car this small. And again, it's only $100,000, which compared to other Porsches out there, it's not very expensive. Now, if you're a big fan of the 718 Boxster over the 718 Cayman, here's something you do need to know. This convertible top here adds $2,000 to the starting price. The base one, the Cayman 718 GTS, that one is around $95,000. But if you were to get the Boxster GTS, it's around $97,500 starting. So if you do want your hair to be in the wind and everything like that, you're going to have to spend a little bit extra money. But if you don't care about that stuff, no, you can save around $2,000 by just getting the normal 718 Cayman without the convertible roof. Now, just because this is a performance-oriented, tiny little sports car from Porsche, who are notoriously bad for their cars having awful storage space, this one isn't as bad as you would think. In fact, it's better than the Porsche 911. You have a front trunk up here that has 5.2 cubic feet of cargo space, plenty of room to store even our camera equipment, no problems with that. And of course, you have that little latch there just in case you get kidnapped in one of these, which I don't think will ever happen. But you also have a rear trunk in the Boxster, which is also pretty nice because back here, you get 4.4 cubic feet of cargo space. So you'll never be out of cargo room, even for groceries or anything like that. You're going to have plenty of space. And back here is also where you do the windshield wiper fluid and the engine oil. Now, though the 718 is a little behind on technology compared to something like the 911 or the other Porsche models out there, this is still a really nice place to be. And indeed, it has leather stretching the entire cabin of this car all the way from the top down to the bottom of the door, all over the dashboard. And these seats are decently comfortable. They are 14-way powered, which means you can adjust them to your heart's content. Other stuff in here includes the fact that you have the Porsche sub-second clock. Even the shifter is wrapped in leather, heated and ventilated seats, exhaust modes. You have a front axle lifter system in this car, and this one also has the premium package in it. The infotainment system is a little outdated compared to the 911 of, the 992 generation, but it is usable. It does have Apple CarPlay, just in case you're worried about that. Not wirelessly, though, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope Porsche goes through the lengths of actually updating this car because it definitely needs it. But if you don't care about the interior design and you just want a nice, comfortable place to be, the 718 Boxster and the Cayman both provide a wonderful interior experience. The only thing you have to do, remember though, is that if you get the Boxster, you don't get the 2 rear seats like you would in the Cayman, which is something to remember just in case you're worried about cargo space or anything like that. But who really cares when you get to roll the top down and actually experience the exhaust sound and the wind flowing through your hair? Now, even though this is just a tiny little 718, it packs a bunch of performance, that doesn't mean you don't get safety features and other cool technologies as well. You get adaptive cruise control, lane change assist, blind spot monitoring. You're never going to be in a situation where you don't feel safe or unable to drive this car because it's missing key safety features that are pretty common in 2024. It's got everything you could ever ask for. And driving the 718 Boxster GTS is, of course, nothing short of a Porsche experience. You have a dial on the steering wheel that allows you to change your drive modes in between Sport, Sport Plus, Individual, and basically a normal mode. And just in Sport, which is what I'm in now, it's an experience to drive. What's going on behind me right now, that 4-liter flat six, it sounds absolutely amazing. And of course, the transmission is quick as ever. Downshifts are fast. This has got to be the fastest shifting dual clutch on the market right now because it feels amazing to drive. Now, the cabin is small on the inside, but the driving experience, like I said, makes you kind of forget that that's even a problem. And even though it's super sporty, the suspension isn't too harsh. We were just in a Supra, and it doesn't feel any worse than that did. No, it feels pretty good. Now, if you do decide that you want to put your foot into it in Sport Plus mode, it sounds so incredibly good. It's an experience you really only get with the 911 GT cars like the GT3, the GT3 Touring, and GT3 RS. You don't get to stretch a normal 3-liter twin turbo flat six in the 911 out like that. Over 7,500 RPMs of revs to go through. You'll never find an end. Every gear is long. It feels fun to drive. It feels connected. And you just don't get experiences like this in cars anymore, especially new ones. Porsche is really the only one nailing it with their naturally aspirated motors where you really just get to push them to the absolute limit. Now, unfortunately, I can't take it to its 179-mile-an-hour top speed, and that's due to the fact that, one, I don't own the car, and I'm nowhere near an area where I can even attempt to do that. But overall, man, it's got to be one of the most fun experiences ever to drive something like this. Seriously. And it's not uncomfortable either. Sure, it's a small little Porsche. It's not going to be great with bumps on the road, but you expect that getting into this. It makes it seem like it's worth its value because maybe it's not all about speed. If you're all about speed, go buy an all-wheel drive M3 or M4 or M5. That's sure. Go spend 100 grand on that. But if you're about the experience and how fun it is and you want a smile on your face no matter how fast the car is, get one of these because you won't find a 911 that goes like that for this price unless you buy a 991.1 GT3. Then you might. But that defeats the point. Yeah. You can have fun with this one too. Now there are other cars out there that are quicker than this one. M3, M4, less than $100,000. Even if you buy an M5 that is used for a couple years, you get a faster car than this. It's not incredibly fast, but this is a Porsche. You get the Porsche reliability, the handling, the interior feel, the quality. Everything on this car is designed to be perfect, even though it isn't a 911. And this one specifically is going for around $105,000, which I think when we're talking six-figure range for car, pretty good used bargains going into the future. And I think a lot more people are going to start buying them, especially because it has the 4-liter flat six, which you can never forget. It's an amazing motor. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more from us, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video.